Movie summary: Rambo, First Blood Part 2, 1985. Some prisoners are working in a quarry. One of them is John Rambo. Rambo's former commander, Colonel Sam Troutman, visits him. Troutman offers Rambo the chance to be released from prison and given full clemency, but on condition of him going into the sweltering, war-torn jungles of Vietnam to search for American POWs. Rambo asks, "Do we get to win this time?" And Troutman answers, "This time's up to you." Rambo arrives at Thailand headquarters and meets Erickson. Erickson says that he is glad to work with Rambo. Rambo meets Marshall Murdoch, an American intelligence operative who is in charge of the special operation, and he tells Rambo that the American public is demanding knowledge about the POWs and they want a trained commando to go in and search for them. Rambo is briefed that he is only to take pictures of the POWs and not to rescue them, nor is he to engage any enemy soldiers. Rambo reluctantly agrees, and he is then told that a local agent will be there to receive him in the jungles of Vietnam. Rambo now prepares for the mission. Rambo explains to Troutman that he is the only one that he trusts before entering the plane. Rambo is delivered over the Vietnamese jungles by an Aero Commander plane, but during the drop, gets tangled, but he manages to free himself. He meets the agent, a local woman named Agent Co Bao, who arranges for her and Rambo to go downriver. Co Bao explains that Rambo came a long way to see an empty camp. Rambo and Co arrive at the camp of the local river pirates. Agent Co Bao gives the payment to the leader of the river pirates. They then travel downriver. While traveling, Agent Co Bao asks Rambo if he wants to eat. Rambo did not answer. Co Bao explains that his father works for an intelligence agency, got killed, so she took his place. She tells Rambo that she wants to live in America, to live a quiet life. Upon arriving at the designated area, they find that the POW camp seems empty. They move closer. They see a prostitute going to the camp. Rambo prepares his bows, and says to Co Bao that he will not follow the orders. They infiltrate the camp, which is supposed to be empty. Rambo sees a POW, he walks and sees another one and frees him. Rambo throws a knife to a Vietnamese soldier, killing him. Rambo kills another Vietnamese soldier, saving Co Bao. Meanwhile, the extraction team flies to get Rambo. Rambo, Co Bao, and the POW escape with the river pirates, but are betrayed by the pirates. Rambo then kills some of the pirates, and orders Co Bao and the POW to jump into the river. An NVA Navy gunboat opens fire at the boat where Rambo is. He then destroys the gunboat with an RPG-7. Rambo kills the remaining member of the pirates before diving into the river. Rambo calls for extraction. He is denied as Murdoch fears what will happen to him and his party if the American public come to know about it. Rambo and the American POW are recaptured. Rambo's wrists are bound to an oxen yoke and he is lowered partially naked into a leech-infested cesspool, or sewage pit. Later, Rambo learns that the Soviet army is aiding and training the Vietnamese, and is tortured badly by a Soviet officer, Lieutenant Colonel Podolsky, and his silent, robust henchman Sergeant Yushin. Rambo is ordered to contact the American military and tell them that they should not send any more commandos for rescue operations in Vietnam. Meanwhile, Co Bao enters the camp in the guise of a prostitute and comes to the hut in which Rambo is held captive. Rambo agrees to Podolsky's condition, but instead threatens Murdoch on the radio. "Murdoch, I am coming to get you." With that, Rambo takes Podolsky and Yushin by surprise and escapes from there, with Co bursting on the scene and firing at the villains. He then escapes from captivity into a nearby jungle with Co's help. Co then tends to Rambo's wounds and begins to implore him to take her to the United States. Rambo agrees and they kiss. However, they are then attacked by some Vietnamese soldiers and Co is killed, but before dying she tells Rambo not to forget her. Rambo kills them all, except for Lieutenant Tay, who escapes, and then buries Co's body in the jungle so it isn't scavenged upon by animals. Meanwhile, Colonel Sam Troutman says to Murdoch that he wants a rescue team ready to go in 1 hour, but Murdoch orders him to withdraw in the project. Following his escape, the camp's Vietnamese soldiers and Soviet Spetsnaz commandos are sent to look for him. Rambo assembles his weapons, and using his knife and compound bow to perform guerrilla warfare tactics, is able to kill a large number of enemy troops in the jungle, including Tay, saving him for one of his explosive arrows. He proceeds to a small enemy camp and destroys it and several vehicles with explosive arrows. Yushin drops a bomb from his helicopter intending to kill Rambo, but Rambo escapes by jumping into the water. Rambo kicks the ass of Yushin, then hijacks the Bell 212 helicopter, and proceeds towards the POW camp. He destroys most of the camp with the helicopter, then lands and arms himself with the machine gun that is mounted on the Huey, kills the remaining soldiers, and rescues all the POWs. They get to the helicopter and head towards the American command center in Thailand. Podolsky chases them in his helicopter gunship. Although Rambo's helicopter is heavily damaged by Podolsky's helicopter, he manages to land his helicopter on a river, then fakes his death. When Podolsky comes near him and gets careless, Rambo fires a rocket at Podolsky's chopper, obliterating it to shreds. Rambo calls the American command center in Thailand, Lone Wolf calling Wolf's Den over. Prepare for emergency landing. Arriving with American POWs. Upon arrival at the headquarters, he knocks the helicopter pilot Erickson. Rambo then wrecks Murdoch's command center. Murdoch explains that he doesn't make the orders, he takes them from higher than him. Rambo threatens Murdoch with a knife, and says that the mission is accomplished and demanding him to find and rescue the remaining American POWs in Vietnam. Troutman then comforts Rambo and tries to pacify him. An angry Rambo responds that he only wants his country to love its soldiers as much as its soldiers love it. As Rambo leaves, Troutman asks him, "How will you live, John?" To which Rambo replies, "Day by day." The film credits roll as Rambo walks off into the distance while his mentor watches him.